Hey, I'm so excited to be answering this question for you today. So, today we're talking about who can you license your content to? So, if you have a course or a training, if you have a process or a workshop or a method or a framework, and you're looking to actually allow other companies to use it, we are answering that question today about who can you actually license your content to? Who out there would want to buy your stuff? And if you aren't sure, this is absolutely the video to tap into because at the end of this video, you're going to have so many ideas for different companies, different levels of businesses, and even specific individuals you can actually license your content to. It's going to blow your mind with the potential. If you are new here, thanks so much for watching this video. I'm April Beach. I would love it if you liked and subscribed to this YouTube channel. I'm always trying to drip out content that you can actually take to the bank to scale your business faster. And make sure you check out the tools we have for you listed below for other resources. And if you haven't yet, cruise over to sweetlifeco.com and you're going to find a bunch of different free resources available to you to dive into more to content licensing. All right, let's go ahead and dive in today. Who can you license your content to? Okay, so when we talk about content licensing, it means we are giving another company the ability to rent or utilize or distribute your training or your course, your system, your workshop, or your process. So you're not distributing it yourself. And I have tons of resources for you on actually what is content licensing on our YouTube channel and our podcast. So make sure you're checking those out and you are not missing those. Now, I really want to dive into specifically answering this question: who can you license your stuff to? So I get this question all the time. People are like, okay, April, this is really cool concept, but who would want to buy my stuff? And so let me share with you some basic mindset strategies first, with the preface of saying I'm not a mindset coach, I'm a business strategist, but I think this is important for you to understand. Companies identify that it's faster to buy your trainings, courses, programs, your systems, and your processes than it is for them to create them themselves. Especially larger companies know that they probably don't have somebody in their team that can do as great of a job as you can do by teaching your expertise. So they know that they can actually save time and save money by bringing your content in. Other coaches and consultants know that as well. So when you have a niche specialty that you are, it's your genius, right? And you've gotten people great results, whether it's through consulting or coaching before, other companies want this. They know it's very valuable to them. It increases the value of what they do. It helps deliver better results to their teams and even to their clients. So again, I have so many other resources for you on why licensing, a different licensing strategy. I really want to move into who you can license it to, but I felt like that was important foundational information in case you haven't tapped into our other resources before. So now answering the question, who can you actually license to? So the first thing I want you to be aware of is that licensing first starts with your individual personal business strategy, your personal goals of where you want to see your personal brand, your business brand, and the content of your work in the next 5, 10, and 15 years. Licensing is a really cool process where we expand the reach of your work. But in order to decide who the best people, companies are to actually license your information to, we want to make sure that the strategy is right for you. So please take a moment and think about where you want to see your business, your personal brand, and your content. And as we move into talking about this, it will give you some more clarity. So there are 4 different levels that I'm going to generally share with you in this training, right? In this recording that we're doing here of this video. 4 different levels of buyers. And we're going to talk through each one of these here briefly to give you some information to be thinking about if that's a right fit for that long-term strategy for you. So, number 1, the first buyer, if you will, the first potential a user or licensee of your content, you could consider actually licensing to your own clients. Okay, so hear me out. If you have a training or a process that you have taught your own clients, let's say you're a marketing coach and you have a specific way of creating, content or doing online marketing processes, right? And you've taught actual individuals, even other companies, but individuals how to do that. Can you, should you do you want to actually give those individuals who have already gone through your training, they've already completed your process, the ability to now utilize your trainings to share in their own business with their own clients? This is really, really a powerful option. In licensing to your own clients is usually one of the fastest ways that we see that we can start licensing your material without big, huge, heavy sales calls or negotiations like we do in bigger corporations. So, number one, I want you to think about, are you in a place where you are ready to start releasing some of your processes to clients that have been through your systems before and they're qualified to deliver it? That's one of the things I want to talk about too. And I'll do a whole separate video on this, but just a sidebar, there's this kind of master resale license business model where people that are totally not qualified at all can actually take other people's content and resell it as if it's theirs. That's not what I'm talking about. I never recommend allowing your content to be distributed or licensed by somebody who is not qualified. So these are qualified individuals. You've trained them personally. They've been through your programs. They know exactly the process, and you're giving them permission to utilize this. So let's go back to that marketing coach example. Let's say if you are that marketing coach and you taught other marketers how to create content marketing plans. Now, would you like to enable them to use your processes, maybe even some of your recordings or your trainings in their business, whether it's to their own teams or even distributing it to their own clients? So that's kind of licensing buyer option level one. It's usually a quicker sale, and it's something that can really expand the reach of your work without a lot of heavy sales lifting. It's really beneficial for you. And of course, it's really beneficial for your clients as well. Level two is licensing to your competition. Okay, this is an absolute game changer. I love talking about this, how to turn your competition into your clients. So this is for those of you guys who you're kind of done coaching or consulting or teaching on what you have been doing. You're ready for this next level of your business. You don't so much want to continue to do this one to group or even one to individual through your own company. So buyer level two are actually going and reaching out to businesses that have been your competition and giving them permission to utilize your trainings with their clients in their business. So imagine this. And oh my gosh, I have so many podcast episodes and resources on this and more videos on this. If this is what you want, we can just totally geek out on this whole buying level option. But let me just leave this with you. Imagine not having to compete with your competition, creating this really cool, even mastermind community collective of businesses that are doing the same things. And they're all utilizing either all or even parts of your training and content to actually insert into their business. So immediately they're no longer your competition because you're not selling that content yourself. You've leveled up their business, you're making more money, and you've completely moved yourself into a blue ocean. So level number one, licensing to your clients. Level number two, licensing to what has been your competition. There's a lot more deep business future strategy we should talk about in that. But for the sake of what we're talking about here in this video today, it gives you a great baseline of things to be thinking about. Okay, so now let's go a little bit bigger. Now let's talk about level number three. Level number three are organizations like agencies or smaller businesses or even nonprofit organizations. These businesses, these companies are always looking for great content. So that's that kind of level three buyer. And as you're moving up these levels, I want you to know that in many cases, for most of our clients, the cost of their licensed product, basically they make more money, goes up. So the higher the organization and the higher the value and the more people that your content is going to reach, the more money you're going to make licensing that particular piece of content. So at level three is think about agencies or think about other small to business, mid-sized businesses. Think about even chambers of commerce or groups and collectives. So if there are, big business associations, these are great level three buyers. And if this is the place where you're at, you can even still continue to sell your own content and license your things to agencies. So that's at level three. So level three is at, again, that mid-sized business or small to mid-sized business, nonprofit agency. And I want you to pause just for a second and imagine at least one or a couple pieces of your content and trainings and how that could benefit a mid-sized business. And frankly, how it could benefit you and how many more people you could reach with your work and how many more companies you could help. And then level 4 are universities, corporations, and government. And we have clients that actually license their content in all of these different levels, all the way up to universities. We have multiple clients that are licensing their courses and content into universities and corporations and government. And so this higher level, me be honest with you, these deals usually take longer to close, but they're bigger deals. So just think, the bigger the deal, the higher the level that you license to, the longer these deals take to close. There's more people to talk to, more red tape that you kind of need to get through. So, again, as you're watching this and you're thinking about this strategy, you can be thinking about how fast do I want to profit, or do I want to, wait for these big deals to close? But that level 4, these are great buyers. So universities, government, and corporations are also always on the lookout for your content. Whether your content is an internal training for their staff to really level up their staff's ability in a certain area, or whether they're going to take your content and distribute it to end users. So your content can be internal and it can be distributed. And so that next level of buyer is a really great opportunity for you if you have a significant program that can guarantee results to their end users, whether it's internally to their staff and, of course, externally to their buyers. So those are 4 different, very general levels. And the purpose, again, of me sharing this with you is to help you just open up your mind to the world of all the things you can do with your content. So that training you created that you aren't selling anymore, or maybe frankly, you're just burned out teaching that topic. Maybe you're ready to move on to the next level. Maybe you have been working a 9-to-5 job and this is your area of expertise, and you have processes and systems that you have created that are out of your own intellectual property. They aren't owned by a company, they're yours. And you want to start increasing your profit outside of your work. You are absolutely in a place where you can look to other companies and all these different, may not be your clients. You can't really license content to your clients if you're working a 9-to-5, but other agencies and even other businesses based on your work, of course, as long as it doesn't compete with your employment agreement. So those are some things that I want you to be thinking about. And I just want to kind of share a little story with you just to wrap this up about one of the first things that I did with licensing and my thought process around this. So hopefully this helps you. So when I first got into licensing, it was late 2008, 2009. And one of the things I realized about myself was that I really wanted to be helping other businesses. And I had all of this content that I was sitting on. In this content that I was sitting on, I had actually created it for a B2C company and my own B2C company. But prior to that, I had even been a business strategist and coach even before I created this content. So I just knew that I wanted to work with other businesses. It's just where I belong. And so the very first thing that I did is, instead of continuing to sell my online courses directly to clients, I connected with every other coach in my industry that was trying to do the exact same thing as I was. And I gave them an opportunity to take all of my classes. And this is the language, this is the goal that I want to give you today. This is the language I used with them. I said, take my courses and make them your own and sell them to your clients. That's what I said. And when we're looking at like the cost that it takes or the time that it takes, I have a little cheat sheet note here that I always reference back. On average, data shows that it takes 28 to 36 hours to create 1 hour of an employee training. That's 28 to 36 hours to create the IP, create the actual curriculum, actually produce the training and have it ready to go. 28 to 36 hours to create 1 hour of training. So going back to what I was offering these other consultants, I had 8 courses that were created, and each one was about on average an hour long. I was literally saving them hundreds of hours by taking my own courses and making them their own and giving them permission to license my own courses. And that was to my competition. And it was an important part of my long-term business strategy for myself. So I always love sharing like real world practical stories about my clients and about how I've done licensing to help you really understand how you can apply this to your business, and you can be thinking about how you want to move forward with licensing. So again, today we covered who you can license to. We covered the 4 different levels of starting out with your exact clients you can license your material to. And then you can even reach out to your competition. Then you can go to small businesses, agencies, even organizations. And then the next level up would be corporations, government, and universities. And all of these are possible for you as long as you have amazing content that gives people transformational results. Okay, thank you so much for watching. I know you walked away with a ton of great information. Remember to subscribe to this YouTube channel so you don't miss any video that I drop, and make sure that you're tapping into our resources again here below this video and by cruising over to sweetlifeco.com, where you also can apply to work with us. All right, I'll catch you next time. Thanks for watching.